Welcome to the MTD Podcast. I'm Giovanni Albanese, hosting today's show, a passionate engineer and a proud member of the MTD team. Today I'm at the home of Hoffmann Group UK and I'm joined by three special guests and we're going to be discussing new strategies and value propositions. I'm joined by three special guests. Firstly, Tim Paddison, Managing Director of the group. Welcome, Tim.
Hi, Gio.
It's great to have you on the podcast. Second, John Waskett. Did I get your name right, John?
Yeah.
Marketing Manager. Welcome, John.
Gio, always a pleasure to have you here.
They just looked at me rather strangely. I thought I got your name wrong there, John. And finally, we have the pleasure to be joined by Pete Borrowdale, National Sales Manager for Hoffmann Group UK. Welcome, Pete.
Hello, Gio.
Now, Tim, you've recently put a new strategy in place and a value proposition. Can you tell our listeners what this entails?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the first thing to say that for the UK, this is really an extension of our group-wide strategy that we have globally, really. And one of the key things we wanted to do is make sure that all our UK customers get the benefit of, the value that can provide. What we're really focusing on is trying to help our customers to be more successful, because ultimately, that drives success together. We will only be able to grow as a business if we have customers to serve. So the first place for us is to make those customers more profitable, more efficient, and help them be more successful in their business, and jointly, therefore, we can work together.
So, Pete, how are you going to achieve this, and what is the key areas that you're looking to help your customers become more successful in?
Okay, Gia. So, a range of things really to answer that question. We have, in terms of our system partner approach, we've got a number of different elements that we believe, from a technical perspective, from a business saving perspective, will offer cost reduction opportunities for our customers. So across all those areas of business, we'll look to introduce support that will work with our customer base to develop those particular elements.
So there's a big strategy change definitely now. You're a big global organisation, and in the UK you're relatively new. How are you marketing this, John?
Well, Gio, it's quite an interesting question because we have a couple of things here. We have, as you said, we're quite new into the UK market, so we have a whole host of brand building, brand awareness exercises. Obviously, we have our key message around this new value proposition, which is all about cost reduction and increasing productivity. And it's really trying to get the balance, because on top of that, we've got 90,000 products in the catalogue. So it has to be a joined up approach, and we have to use all the channels that we've got available to us. But
is it just standard products that you offer?
It's not just standard products, Gio. We offer a vast range of products. There's no doubt about that. But we also have some very specialist services and technical services that we can offer the customer base.
Well, let's start with the products then, Tim. Tell us about some of the products that you offer the UK market.
Well, I guess rather than just speaking about specific products, which maybe we'll get to the categories in a moment, I think if you imagine a workstation or a machining centre or a production area, and you looked at the products that are used within a 30-foot radius of that, then I guess that's what we're looking at. We're looking at anything from production tooling to actual hand tools, metrology, the actual workstations themselves, consumables within that work area, such as PPE, spill control, and also ancillary products. And it's really helping our customers simplify the whole procurement of everything that they use in that production area.
Now, just supplying a product is all good and well, but say, for example, an end user bought an end mill, one person could really get the benefits out of the end mill and maybe somebody else wouldn't. How do you back this up? How do you add value? You mentioned adding value, so how is this achieved?
Well, ultimately, we, across all our product categories, we'll take the one you just talked about there in a second, but all our product categories, we employ specialists, technical people that can support on a consultative basis in recommending the right product for that application, whether that be, as you've just referred to them, maybe some kind of machining process. So we have qualified engineers who are able to look at the application and then help our customers use the right tool in the right way for that particular job to make sure they get the maximum performance out of the tooling, and also reduce the overall cycle time so that they can produce more components, I guess, which, as we said before, helps them be more efficient and profitable.
So it's safe to say then, really, you're not just supplying a product, you're actually supplying a complete solution.
Absolutely, because I guess ultimately, whether it be ourselves or anybody else, we are supplying products to produce an end product. And the more you can take out of that process, that's where the value is. What we supply is simply something that helps the customer get to that finished component. Absolutely.
Now, it's kind of become quite evident to me that all of your products and services seem very interlinked, Pete. Can you give me an example of how a client uses all of your products and services and the kind of return of investment that you would expect them to see?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you look at our sort of whole system partner approach, the customer can rely on the stock availability and delivery accuracy of our products, but also we back that up with huge stocks. But like Tim said, we have specialists in every field to support our product range. And we're supporting customers through e-business, whether that's using our internet platform for purchasing to reduce costs, or whether that's vending solution on site being refilled by our own site service coordinators. So it's the whole cycle of delivery of the product, management of the product through the supply chain, and ultimately reducing the costs.
Now, Tim, what do you think about that?
I mean, I absolutely agree with Pete's comments, and I think that is really founded in the fact that the actual cost of tooling and associated products is actually a very small percentage of the overall production costs, typically around about 4%. So if you imagine that even if a company got all their products that they consumed within that process free, it's probably only about 4% of the cost of that process. So while we have to remain competitive, clearly, on all the products we sell, where we focus on is how to use those products more efficiently and therefore take the cost out of the much larger buckets that contribute to overall operational costs and help the customer look at that. As Pete said, is that the way they procure? Can we take time out of managing the inventory, using the right product to reduce cycle time? Maybe consolidating the number of different products a customer has to buy. All those things can really help save money, which is where we want to focus. Not just the product, but as you said, how we deliver those and the services surrounding them.
I think that's a really good point, really, Tim. It's kind of changing mindsets, really, and the way in which people have worked for years. It's changing the way people think and the way that they work. And to have that this particular product range backed up with the specialists that you have must be a massive benefit. How do you get that to market though, John? How do you educate people in all these different arenas, especially when you've got 90,000 standard products plus the specials and plus all the other services? You're tasked with a big job.
It's a pretty big task, yeah, for sure, Gio. I mean, just the products alone. But I think what Pete and Tim have just said. If we think about that and system partner, the key word there really is partner, and it's all about getting under the skin with the customer to understand their requirements, exactly what they're doing, and working with them very closely. Marketing that is very hard. There are numerous different segments as part of this approach, and we consolidated. We would just say that we make our customers more successful by increasing productivity and simplifying the procurement of industrial tooling and equipment. Now, that's very easy for you to say, you might say. However, getting that across in bite-sized chunks and what that actually means, that is the challenge for us as a relatively new business in a mature market in the UK.
That's a good answer, John. And I mean, MTD now have been working with you guys for over a year, and we visited some of your clients that have benefited significantly from the complete solution that you offer, not just from one particular product. Now, something that really interests me is the e-business perspective, the digital vending. This all falls quite nicely within the Industry 4.0 remit, really. But then you're kind of introducing all your different products within that, and like I mentioned, it's very interlinked. 5S and all of the other elements that you really push quite heavily, give me an example of savings again, Pete. I mean, they're significant, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, Gio. So whether it's inventory control through vending solutions or whether it's 5S and lean, it would depend on applications, but it would be typical to see savings of around 20 up to potentially 50% would not be out of the question, and we have reference points for that. In terms of the 5S and lean, we like you say, we're in relatively new business in the UK, but we are building reference sites all the time with customer base. So that is going to allow us to use those in our marketing and take those benefits to the wider customer base.
Now, Tim, like e-business, how important is that to you from a complete business perspective?
Well, I guess this works both ways, doesn't it? Because as a company, I'm looking for ways that we can be more efficient, and more digital or e-commerce is a way of reducing the amount of labour input into some of what can often be quite transactional processes. And for our customers, we have a platform which we call our e-shop, which can link in also to different parts of the rest of our offer, but it again allows customers to have a very simple way of procuring at a price that they've already negotiated, and if they need, even have controls around budgets in that as well, which simplifies the whole process of approval. And I think that's a great example of taking time and effort, which allows companies to focus on the more material areas where they can save money. The UK has suffered for many, many years in not achieving improved productivity. And that's often because I think we focus on the wrong things, as we talked about, the actual tooling and ancillary cost being 4%. Well, you can put a lot of effort into chasing 5% reduction of 4% of the overall cost, as opposed to really being able to identify where the real savings can be had. And we have to live by that same mantra and try and apply that in our business. And as a managing director, I would be looking at where's the biggest benefit to me to help my business be more successful.
It's a really good point. Now, being a global organisation, does this kind of help you in regards to the fixed pricing that you offer? And again, how is this, go into a little bit more detail about how the fixed pricing is helping your clients too?
Well, 2 points there. I think, first of all, yes, as a global organisation with, over a billion euros sales revenue, that means we do have, huge buying power for the products in our range, and there's over 85,000 products in the catalogue. So that gives us great buying power, if I can say that correctly, around those. Having that buying power then means that we can drive price consistency. And one thing that we offer is that throughout our standard products, we can offer fixed pricing for 12 months. Where that helps customers is they don't have to put a lot of effort into renegotiating prices multiple times per year, probably for limited return. Fixed price for a period of time means you can focus, as we said before, on more material areas of the business, knowing that there's a good deal in place that's consistent, and you don't have to worry about trying to manage that in the background.
So when you get a client on board, they're reaping all of the benefits of your products and the services, and you're also adding additional services such as CAD/CAM, regrind, specials. Again, Pete, can you go and tell our listeners a little bit more about these additional services that you're offering?
Yes, certainly. We're going to be looking in the near future to offer CAD/CAM facility for our customers. So currently, We have our technical engineers looking at applications on site. But in the future, we'll be able to do some further work on that to aid the cost reduction element of that. If you look at metrology, we know that companies waste a lot of money on recalibration and the control of calibrated products. And we're looking at a whole series of initiatives around that related to our vending solution that will help optimise efficiency and reduce costs in the metrology calibration area. If we speak about our projects and our project and kitting element of our business, we have a team here, a multifunctional team that will look at projects. We'll look at them from the analysis perspective. We will do on-site surveys. We will 3D model the project. And ultimately, if the customer wants to buy from us, we will deliver a turnkey package, which will enable us to wheel in a fully enabled toolkit with full traceability that will give the customer a real return on investment over a long period of time. So if you buy a full tool control kit from us, you will see your consumable spend reduce significantly over a period of time.
So you're saying really from cradle to grave, really, you're supporting
absolutely.
your client from the beginning
design
to the end.
Yeah, design to delivery and all the processes involved in all those stages. We have the ability and capability to deliver on those.
And it benefits both of you.
No, absolutely. So the customer will work with a partner who delivers quality products, but also they'll have the ability then to look at different processes within their own business and gain maximum efficiency and cost reduction.
I mean, John, we were speaking about this the other day, really, with such a large array of products that you offer. Not only have you got to educate and train your clients, but training yourselves internally with the R&D. Your products are changing all the time and evolving. This is also a challenge.
Yeah, absolutely, Gio. I mean, I just quickly want to go back to what Pete was saying there, and it's when we talk about mutual benefit, that really is what the whole partnership is about. It's win-win for both parties, and that's quite important because that's what we're about as a business. But yeah, as you quite rightly say, new products launch, our products are continually evolving, we're adding new services. So there's huge investment in the background into making sure all our colleagues are trained, fully up to speed with everything. And also, of course, our customers as well. Legislation changes, so many things change, and you've got to be, the finger has got to be on the pulse, hasn't it?
100%. I think that Pete, sorry.
You mentioned about R&D, and obviously as a business, as a global business, and you also mentioned Industry 4.0. So as a global business, the company continues to invest in technology. So connected manufacturing, Industry 4.0, these are topics that we will be heavily involved in over the next coming months, and we'll be bringing offers to support our customer base. I
think in my opinion, it's absolutely critical that people start investing in all the latest technologies and innovations to remain competitive. Although in these challenging times, it's even more important. And again, John, I just want to touch upon the training. Because training and education is key, isn't it? It's all good and well having the best products in the world, but if you don't know how to use them or adopt them, what's the point?
Very true, very true. I mean, we talk about training. One thing that does happen here at Hoffmann, every year we have what we call a catalogue training, and this is where everybody in the business is brought up to speed in quite a lot of detail with regards to the product evolutions, the new product introductions, new services. And then we also operate a train-the-trainer program here at Hoffmann. So what that enables the whole business to do is that everyone can impart that wisdom on other colleagues, and then likewise with customers as well. So we have a whole training and seminar program to ensure customers, end users, everyone is fully up to speed with the latest developments and everything that's happening.
That's good to hear, because I mean you've got such a big portfolio of products, Pete.
Just just back up what John's saying there around the training piece. We also have on our own system something called Tool Campus, which is electronic trading platform where you can have continuous training at your own level at your own desired time as well. So it's all electronic trade, not all electronic, but predominantly electronic trading, especially at the minute. But it's across the whole product mix, but also the services as well. Really important that all the e-commerce platforms, the technology that we run to support our businesses, Microsoft Teams, for instance, everyone is trained in those elements that support the greater good, which is the cost benefit back to the customer.
Yeah, I think, Pete, one thing I did forget there, and shoot me now, but I'm going to be the first one to mention the COVID-19 pandemic. Yeah. So I apologise for that. But what I won't apologise for is the fact that I don't think anyone will know this, but internally, as an international business, we actually launched a hashtag Stay Home and Learn campaign. So that tour campus that Pete just referenced, all our colleagues internationally in every business unit, every country, everyone was, there was a real focus on learning during the pandemic, which I think was great. And we probably should have shouted a bit more about that. But That's brilliant. We are very, very focused.
It's absolutely brilliant. I think that it was evident to see that during the pandemic, you were also continually marketing your business. And am I right in saying that you actually increased your headcount during this pandemic in the UK?
That is very, very correct. I think, we, as a business, I think we have an absolute duty to continue to market and not panic people. There was a hell of a lot going on in April and May, and I think we have a responsibility to make sure that we get consistent messaging out there. And it wasn't product focused, it wasn't sales focused. It was quite generic messaging.
You've just been proactive, John.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was, I think, some companies kind of stopped and held back a little bit. Other people carried on. It was, a lot of people didn't know what to do, and you just do what you feel is best at the time.
That's good news that you've increased your headcount. Now, Tim, what you got to say on this?
Yeah, I mean, I think just to reinforce that, our ambitions for the future remain unchanged despite the challenges of this year. We've not been immune to those any more than anybody else. It's about focus and investing for the future. And, as we move into 2021, we've absolutely strengthened our team. We didn't actually do that during the pandemic, but, post that's the plans we want to continue with. And in reorganising our teams so that we can be more customer focused, which is the key to make sure we're successful in the coming years. So I think it's important to look forward and not look backwards. We can't change what's happened this year, and the whole world will have to adjust, but we still believe that we've got great value for our current and potential customers that we want to bring to the market.
Well, congratulations for staying so positive during this challenging time. I think that, you're only going from strength to strength from what I can see. Now, in regards to kind of growth areas within your business, I mean, you're well renowned for certain products such as cutting tools, vending solutions, but where do you see your big growth areas?
I think it will come across our whole range of products, and I think we don't want to ignore any of them. We still are hugely committed to technical cutting tools and the expertise that we need to help deliver value for our customers. That won't change at all. But it won't be our only focus. As we said, we want to look at how we can make our customers be more successful by productivity across the board, not just in one area. And if we do that by delivering technical expertise across all product categories and simplifying procurement, we can help do that. So whether it be cutting tools, hand tools, metrology, PPE, workshop consumables, workshop and storage equipment, all of these are areas where we can help customers, as we said earlier, right from the design of a workshop through to the consumables that will be used in it. We can do that whole package start to finish.
Effectively, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're saving your clients time, and time is money. It's the most precious commodity that you can get, isn't it, really? And if you can do that by not only offering all of the products that they require, but having that specialised backup to be able to make your products work to the best of their ability and add value to their business, surely it's a no-brainer.
Well, we would like to think so. And I guess, sat where I am, I would, it'd be great if I had suppliers that were coming to us with this type of innovation and wanting to help us be more successful. Fortunately, on a global level, we have great relationships where, we can deliver that. But as somebody responsible for a business, this is what you want to hear from your partners and your suppliers, is how they can help you. And we referred to, the pandemic this year, but I think if it's taught us one thing across the whole of industry and commerce, is that we must do whatever we can to future-proof our businesses to make sure we're successful. And logically, we would all want to do that with a trusted partner, somebody who we know will help deliver those benefits and support our business through thick and thin. Hoffmann have been, around for over 100 years. We're still a family-owned business, and that means we're very customer-centric. We want to create a community not just for our customers, but also our team members. And through delivering these value services and mutual benefit, that's where both parties can get the most out of this. And I guess that's what drives sustainable growth.
Collaboration and partnerships is key. That's brilliant, Tim. I mean, we've touched upon so many different topics today. We could have had a podcast that lasts for 2 or 3 hours, to be fair, but hopefully we've kind of educated our audience and our listeners and gave them a grounding about all of the different products and areas that you offer. Any last thoughts, gents?
I guess just for me, Gio, is that, we believe we've got a great set of value services for our clients and our potential customers. We just really want the chance to be able to continue to prove that. We're here to help, and we want to prove that what we've got here is not just words, but it is something that we can actually deliver. And we're really excited to move this forward through not the rest of this year, but beyond that as well.
All right, Tim, thank you very much. Pete, it's been a pleasure. And John, as always, it's great to see you again.
Yes, absolutely, Gio. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much for listening to the MTD podcast. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Let us know what you think. Send us some comments. And if you've got any requirements that the Hoffmann Group UK can help you with, don't hesitate to contact them. Until next week, the MTD podcast.
Thanks for listening to the MTD podcast. If you found value in this episode, please subscribe and leave a rating and review. Find more episodes on mtdcnc.com.